Today I'm going to be doing one good thing and one bad thing about every operator that I own in Rainbow Six Siege. Now it will only be operators that I own because I don't really know anything much about any of the operators that I don't own. So yeah, we're starting off with Striker. One really good thing I think about Striker would have to be probably the fact that he can be a breach operator with a hard breach, and he can also be a support op with the impact EMP grenade, the frag grenade, or the stun. So I do like the fact that he can be a breach and a support, and one thing that I don't like about him is that he's just such a basic operator and his loadout kind of sucks. Okay, so moving on to Sledge. One thing that I love about Sledge is probably the fact that it can breach through, like if you're upstairs and the site's downstairs, you can make lots of holes in the floor and shoot through them. But one thing that I don't like about Sledge is the fact that if you're playing Sledge, there's not really many opportunities in the match for you to use Sledge if you're solo queuing, which some people do solo queue. But one thing that's just generally bad about him that doesn't involve just like certain situations is I would love to see Sledge having a rework so that, you know, the like metal beams that are in the floors and the roofs and the ceilings, I wish that they would make like a rework so that it could have the option, like if you held down the button to use his breaching hammer, if it gave you like, if it used more of your ability but it let you breach through the metal beams. Not like a hard breach, like it wouldn't let you breach through reinforced surfaces, just the metal beams, because I do find that really annoying how you can't go through them. Okay, moving on to Thatcher. Well, I mean, I don't really have anything good to say about Thatcher. But one thing that I do like about Thatcher though is the fact that when you're not solo queuing and you've actually got people on your team, you can just clear rooms so easily. Well, we can't really clear the rooms, but like you can let thermites have an opportunity to place their thermite charge if there's a bandit or a Cade on the other team. You can just have like so many opportunities to let hard breaches do their thing and to stop defenders from, like, especially if they're defusing as well, because some defenders do tend to use like their gadget around where they're defusing, like Ela. If there's an Ela on the other team and they're defusing, they will likely pick up one of their Grismot mines that hasn't been triggered and place it near the diffuser if they're defusing, so that they can't really get killed. They will place it around the door, so if you're using impact EMP in the room that you're going in, if you know that they're planting in that room, it's basically a free kill if Ela's defusing. One bad thing about Thatcher though is he has limited like gadget. Like he has limited like frag grenades, he doesn't have frags, he doesn't have stuns, he's only got claymores and breach charges, which aren't really all that good if you really think about it. Okay, so one thing that I like about Ashe is the fact that she can counter Mira, she can counter actually most operators. Like if you use her charge on a door, she can like, instead of vaulting through the door, if you use one of our charges on the door, and there's a guile on the other side, the fire will just be released so that you can tell not to go into that room, and she can basically counter most operators. And if you're in a really struggling situation, it can be used like a frag grenade, because I have done that before. Like, I have got kills with the breaching round. And one bad thing about her though is 110% her gun selection. Her gun selection is so cooked. I mean, the R4C and G36C, and I mean, what are these pistols? This has got like 7 in the magazine, and this has got 21 in the magazine. Well, sometimes 21 if you reload it when it's like, you know, still got some bullets in it. I just think overall this is the better option to pick, because although most people would pick this, the M45 music, never really read that out loud before. I've just always called it like the M45. And if you're using that, you've only got 7 shots because of the added damage, but you can just kind of like spam with this, and the recoil is so bad on this gun. Okay, moving over to Thermite here. One thing that I like about Thermite is that it can just get rooms cleared so easily with the stuns, because with his ability, if you use ability mixed with, like, if you like breach a hard wall and then just throw like 1 or 2 stuns through the wall, then you can just peek through it and like get 3 or 4 kills. Me personally, I've not done it, but I have seen one of my teammates do it. They placed one of his exothermic charges on the wall and then just started spamming stun grenades into the room, and then he was able to clear a whole team of 5 people. Okay, so moving on to Twitch. I don't really think I've got anything good to say about Twitch. Well, if I did have to pick something good though, I would probably say that she's got one thing that's really good about Twitch is the because she's got an assault rifle, a marksman rifle, and a shotgun, which is a really good variety selection of the like overall, because you've got a spray weapon, you've got just like a 2-tap weapon which can literally 2-tap people, no matter like, well, it can't 2-tap them if they've got the Rook effect on and they're 3 health operator, but you've got this which can be used for like making holes in the, like, you know what I mean, like holes in the soft walls so that you can get into this site easily. You've got this to spray people with, and this to basically just like 2 or 3 tap enemies with. One thing that I don't like about Twitch, literally just her ability. I mean, it's kind of useless in the long run, because I mean, if you're looking at it, it is a pretty decent ability, but most of the things that you can counter with her ability, you can counter with other operators or just with your fist and your gun, because the amount of times I have seen people destroying bulletproof cameras with her drone when you can literally just go up to it and melee it, or the amount of people that I've seen use it on cameras, you can literally just shoot out the cameras, so there's no point in shooting out the cameras. Okay, so moving on to the next operator here, Monty. One thing that I love about Monty is that he can be used as such a good support op. Like, if I had to pick, like, I don't know if he's actually labelled as this, I would label him more as, like, instead of a Pathfinder, I would label him more as frontline support, because I have made an insane play one day where I was playing as Monty. I told my team through voice chat to all get behind me, well, it was actually 2 people, and then the other 2 just ran and left, and they were literally just camping behind my shield and peeking out whenever they needed to get a kill, and that was absolutely great. One thing that I don't like though would have to be 100% the guns. I mean, it's got such a good ability, but it's ruined by such bad guns. I mean, the reload speed on this gun's horrible. The damage isn't that great on this gun, but I mean, it isn't really that bad for Monty, I guess, because realistically, no one ever uses his weapons. But one thing that I do have to say is, if you're playing Monty, play more of like a frontline support op. Don't try and rush to get kills. It's just not gonna work. Okay, so one thing that I love about Glaz is the fact that it has smokes. I mean, that just takes his ability to like a whole nother level of good. I mean, it's kind of a mid ability, but with him having smokes, I feel like if they were ever going to nerf Glaz, I feel like they should just take away the smokes. But I don't think they're ever going to do that because Ubisoft, just crazy, I guess. Okay, so one thing that I don't like about him though is just that you don't have a second ability of a weapon. I mean, I would like to see having like an assault rifle, but you do have the same ability, like it's just like a flip-on sight. Or like, even like a no, not a marksman rifle, because technically I already got one of them. I think it's more of a sniper rifle though, I would label it as. But like, even just like a shotgun or something maybe. Like the Boss G that Doc Ayabe and I think Vigil has, because that's a quite far range shotgun. Okay, so moving on to Fuse. One really good thing about Fuse would have to be that if your teammates are struggling to get into sight because the enemies are camping sight, if they're downstairs and there's 2 stories to the building and it's a soft floor above the attackers in the bomb site. Now I have seen this happen in game. It was only like 1 kill that he got, but it could have been absolutely amazing if all the attackers were bundled up, because my team was struggling to get into the site. I know you probably don't want to hear this, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. My team was struggling to get into sight, so there was this Fuse that ran away, and all of my teammates were moaning at him. Bro, why are you running away? Is like the type of stuff that they were saying. They were like, one person started swearing at him, but then he went upstairs, put a cluster charge in the site that we were struggling to get into, and he killed 1 person and damaged another, but he damaged the other one just enough so that we were able to one-tap him. So then we were able to get in sight and plant, and we still had all 5 teammates. So that's one thing that's really good about him. One thing that's actually kind of horrible about him though is the people that play him. I mean, it's not even just like the operator himself, it's the people that play Fuse. They don't place down the cluster charges. I mean, I swear they just use them for the AK-12 because they're too broke to afford Ace. And I mean, the amount of people that I've seen use the shield, there is literally no need to use the shield when you've got the GP41, no, the 6P41, wait, that is G right there, I don't know why, and the AK-12. I mean, why pick the shield? Just why? Okay, so moving on to Blitz. Oh my god, I'm gonna have such a fun time picking out good things for Blitz. There's like 100 good things with him. But one thing that I would have to say though, that's really good about Blitz, is when you're playing Blitz and you're rushing into a room, people are literally kind of just allergic to you. I mean, they run away like they've got a deadly allergy to you. Same with Blackbeard, but I've not actually unlocked Blackbeard. I have seen that happen. Like, it's just so funny when you're playing Blitz and you're just storming the room. I mean, they could fine well get a hit on your legs because you're literally sprinting into the room, but instead they literally just run away from you like you're like a peanut and they've got a deadly allergy to peanuts. No offence to people that actually do have allergies to peanuts. One bad thing about Blitz though is when you're playing against him. I mean, oh my god, it hits like 2 flashes at the same time. I mean, there's no need to hit 2 flashes at the same time. I mean, he's just so annoying to play against because he just pushes, and most of the people all of the time will hit a smoke and then just flash randomly into the air, which usually does end up flashing you, and it's so annoying. Okay, moving on to IQ. One thing that I like about IQ, like I don't exactly love it about IQ, I think she does need a rework, is just probably the fact that she is a good operator if there is a fuse on your team. One room, you can scan and mark all of the utility that's in the room, and then you can go tell the fuse through voice chat to go and hit cluster charge in the room. If there's, that's only in certain cases if there's like lots of gadgets and utility in the room. But she is good especially if attackers are hitting nitro cells, because no, I mean if defenders are hitting nitro cells, because my teammate was playing IQ and they marked a nitro cell, but they marked it just a bit too late. If they would have marked it early, I probably could have survived, but they marked it late. But to be honest, it wasn't even really their fault, so I'm not going to blame them. So why am I on locker? I don't want to be on locker. Yes, go back on attackers. Okay, so I was on IQ, so now I'm down to Hibana. One thing that I love about Hibana is just create like so easily to get into the room. And that's one thing that I love about her. One thing that I hate about her would have to be her loadout. I mean, you've got 20 bullets in this gun with only 40 damage, and if you're going to hit the pre-fire, you can only pre-fire really 3 or 4 bullets before like it starts getting too much bullets to pre-fire with. One thing that does justify this though is if you are pre-firing, I would pre-fire with the Baron 9, because then you don't waste ammo on your assault rifle, but you're still making use out of the pistol. But our loadout is actually like crusty though. And I mean the reload speeds on the guns that only have like 20 bullets just shocks me. Hold on, I've not unlocked. Like, oh, okay. Lion. One thing that I love about Lion is probably when you're forcing the enemy team to move. Like if you're already like kind of in the building, and then one of your teammates like makes a hole into one of the sites because you know that there's enemies in there. If one of your teammates makes a hole with a breach charge, then you can just throw a frag grenade in, and obviously people don't want to get killed by the frag grenade, so they're going to start running around, and then that's when you pop your EE1D. That's when you get the most use out of it, when one of your teammates hits a breach and then you throw a frag in. I mean, these downs can come in handy sometimes, especially if you're playing Lion. Okay, so let's get one of the last operators here. One thing that I love about Kali is the fact that her sniper one-shots. That is literally the best thing about this operator. One thing that I hate about her though, I don't really hate it but I just dislike it. probably have to be. Like, the way that her ability works, I mean, it's got such a small radius on it that it doesn't really do very much. Like, it's not powerful enough to get stuff if it's not in a radius, which really annoys me. I feel like it should have like at least the radius of like an Ash breach charge. I feel like it should at least be the radius of an Ash breach charge, but with the same power, just so that it can reach a lot further. Okay, so moving on to Iana here. Did I say one thing that I did say one thing that I love? One thing that I love about Iana though is that you can trick the defenders. I mean, if you hit a clone and then you start peeking in, they'll start, like, I've not personally done this, but I have seen a video of someone doing it. If you get your clone out and you start peeking into the room, they will start wasting their magazine, especially if you just peek in and out really quickly so that they don't have time to like hit you. Then they will waste lots of their bullets trying to get you, and if you are right like outside of the door, then when you can see that they're reloading through your Gemini replicator, that's when you pop in and hit a headshot. One thing that I don't like about her though is probably like, don't really know what I hate about her, but it's just the fact that her clone can't repel. I mean, I wish that her clone could repel and break through like windows and doors, because you've got to do that first, which you don't really want to be doing. I mean, I wish that like not even being able to melee enemies, just the doors with their gun when you're using the Gemini replicator. That really annoys me that you can't break through windows and doors with her. Okay, moving on to Zero. One thing that I love about Zero would have to be that like it's not even a case of something that I love about him, it's more like a case of something that I like about him. One thing that I do like about him though is the fact that he's got a hard breach, because you can hit a hard breach and then hit like 3 cameras in different spots, especially when it's like end game as a 1v1, because I planted the diffuser, placed a camera near the diffuser. No, I placed the diffuser, I planted the diffuser. I forgot, I was thinking like, is it called the diffuser or what's it called? But it is called the diffuser, yeah. So I planted the diffuser and I placed a camera near the diffuser, and the minute that he went to disable the diffuser, I could see it through my camera, and I just went in and bang, he was dead. I don't think, okay, Sens, I think this is the last one here. One thing that I love about Sens is that you can kind of create like almost distraction, because Sens paired with Iana can be kind of cracked, because if you roll your Sens out in the middle of a door, well then it blocks like the spaces between the left and the right. And again, I've not actually seen this happen, but I have seen it happen on YouTube. And if you tell the Iana to go in the right side, if you know that there's somebody in the left and the right side, tell the Iana to use her Gemini replicator to go in the right side, and then they're going to start firing at the right side, so then they're going to be less focused on the other side as well. They're only going to be focused on people that are on side that they're at, and then you can pop in, kill the other one, and like, no, you can disable the walls with the ability. Like with the on controller, it's the left D-pad. With the left D-pad, if you disable them, then you'll be able to get a free kill. So that's 2 free kills if you know there's somebody on the left and the right. One thing that I don't like about them though would probably have to be the amount of opportunities that you get to do something like that. I mean, you don't really get any good opportunities to do like anything with this operator. Because I mean, when's the time that you're going to be using sends in a 1v1 situation? When's the time that you're going to be using sends on most maps? I mean, especially on Lair. Lair has to be the worst map to use sends on. Because I mean, you've just got no opportunities to use them throughout the whole thing. Okay, and I don't think that I've really got any other operators. No, I don't. How about we set a reasonable like goal? If this video gets, let's say, 50 views and 20 likes, I will release a part 2 with all of the defenders that I've unlocked. So, if you want a part 2, make sure to like. Don't forget to leave a subscribe if you liked the video. And, yeah, goodbye.